I'm doing an A and a K square, correct. Yeah, if you guys ever see something that you have a suggestion to make the pattern better for you, let me know. I always try to put a block like these so you can see everything. And then I at least mark the first one so you can see that too. But I'm open to feedback, except on Google. Jeez.
Send it in an email or smoke signal.
I don't know. I'm just like, what the heck, people? Okay, let's go to the sewing machine.
Oh, that's an awesome view.
Isn't it? I know. I got a new lens. Do you guys like it?
Nice. Absolutely.
Okay.
Been able to join you on many words, so haven't really been able to pay much attention. You're changing into a dog? Okay. Well then, go play, Bubby.
I do think this is the easiest one we've done so far. The rabbit one was the hardest, I think.
Good Lord.
Oh, Lord, oh my. No, I'm not telling them. We won't talk about how many times Christina takes out her bunnies. I had to get a new seam ripper. So what I did is I just stacked them and I'm going to cut them in half at once. Then I'm going to
You're
go.
brave.
Oh, I know. That's why I drew the line. I want to see. So, and I typically write my patterns to press all the seams open just because that's the easiest. But on this one here, if you want to get a nice little fan in the middle, you can press towards one side. And I normally will press towards the... Can you see this? Yeah, they can.
Yes.
Okay. The last time I did a whole recording and didn't move the and didn't know that nobody could see it. Okay, so now we're going to make the pinwheel, and what I've done is I pressed everything towards the pink, and you want to make sure that the points are in the same position all the way around. And then I'm just going to flip it over, and then these two should nest nicely. So you'll get a nice, perfect pinwheel, okay? And I'm going to pin them. Isn't that perfect? I thought when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh. And mine, I'm not using it because when I tested it, I didn't have the fabric. So, okay. And then I'm going to go sew these. Okay, now I'm going to go iron these. Okay. So of course, when you look at this, you're going to see that this is your 1/4 inch seam, your 1/4 inch seam. You don't want it to be like this, okay? You want it to be like this. So I'm going to press one to the left and one to the right, because I want it to nest like that. See, what's nice is when Annie is here, she switches the cameras for me. It's her mother's birthday, so they're out golfing.
Good for them.
I wish I had a daughter like her. She's super sweet, very smart. She was valedictorian.
Very nice.
I'm going to sew a little bit more because I don't really quite have the points there. There we go. So this one, I would press open, or if you do this, just push it up like this. Here. You can get that little spinner in the middle. One is not right, one is right. There you go. Okay, so my imperfect center. So next, I'm down on section 8. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece B and we're going to sew it on the corners. And I already marked mine with the lines. And so
This one's just getting a bow tie.
yeah, just a bow tie. It's a boy.
It's a boy.
It's a boy. Judy, what you working on? Did you get the package, Judy?
No, not yet. Got the zippers and ribbons, and I got my stuff from the live the other night.
That is just weird. I think it got caught in the whole, what you call it. If you don't get
Yeah,
it Monday,
the
I'm sending a
hurricane.
second one. Yeah, the hurricane, that thing. That's awful. I can't even think about it.
Did you get my message, Sandy? I couldn't get Apple Pay to work the other night.
Did it go to me or Ellen?
I left a message on the phone as well as I sent an email.
So Ellen would have gotten that, and she understands that side much better than me, and so she will probably get back to you. But Apple Pay needs to work, so we need to ask Comment Sold why it didn't work. Has anybody been working on their mystery quilt? Yeah.
So Sandy, the stitch, the SNF technique, the
Stitch and flip?
stitch and flip. So when you say you already did your line, it's like in the diagram you drew a line in that little square.
I did. Yep.
Math,
From corner to corner.
and that's your sew line also.
That's correct. Great question. Next time I won't skip that.
And then you're gonna trim off or some of it? How does
Yep.
that
I'm
work?
going to come over here and show you.
Okay.
So this is our, so I sewed on the line here and here, and then I'm going to come around and I'm
Yeah.
going to,
Yeah, she did.
A 1/4 inch, okay.
Watch plugged into my computer. Okay, all right. Okay, bye.
oh, waiting, 2 people. Admit all. Kathy McCalloch and Alice are joining us. Welcome, Kathy and Alice. We just started. We're on page 4, step 8. Okay, so now I'm going to just press it.
Okay. That's the flipping part.
That
Gotcha.
is stitch and flip, correct. We're going to be doing a lot of stitch and flip.
It's a beautiful star. It looks almost like a peppermint in the
It
center.
is a peppermint.
What you
That's
were-
that's why it's
peppermint,
called Candy Christmas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now I'm taking my D's and my M's and we're going to make flying geese. So, flying geese.
That's step 9.
That's correct. And I'm going to draw my line. Now, would I normally do my flying geese this way? Who knows what I would do instead? This is best practices to write your patterns like this. So, that's what I do. But I would use the flying geese ruler from Creative Grids.
Sandy, the only time I don't use the Creative Grids one is if it's directional fabric and I have some issues in fabric placement.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's 2 ways to use the flying geese ruler on Creative Grids. So if you, one way you can do that. There's one where it looks like the heart and one where you do it just like this and then you just trim it down. So I'm big into that ruler. I love it. And so what we're going to do is we have 4 of the M's and we're going to put 1 of the quarter units on each corner. Where's my pins? And pin them on. Some people may not pin. Does anybody's machine have one of those lights? Mine does not. I would love to have that laser light.
No.
No. It's not very expensive. I think it's like less than $100. But you don't have to draw lines. And yeah, I have the tape. A lot of times I'll use that, but my extension table moves. So that doesn't help my cause. So I just,
There's a new company out. I can't remember the name of the company right off the top of my head, but they just came out with a green laser light. And green light is less taxing to the eye than the red light is, according to my neuro-ophthalmologist.
oh, well, I've been looking at getting one to offer to everyone, so I will look that one up. That's when I go to Quilt Market, that's one of the things that's on my list to find is a decent laser light.
I'll try to send it to you because I've been talking to them and said, why don't you make another color? Because the red, I could only work with the red light for like about less than 3 minutes when the Bernina came out with a new one, and it was like, it was giving me migraines.
Oh. Huh. Okay, so now I'm over here and I'm going to start. I always start up at this corner. You don't want to start at a point because it typically will pull your fabric down into the, unless you're using a leader or an ender. And if you don't know what that is, I can show you. A leader is when you start with a piece of fabric and you sew to the edge. And then you put your fabric in, and it makes it so it can't pull your fabric down into the feed dogs. And then you get to the end here, and let me get another piece of fabric. And you sew on another piece of fabric. You can chain piece. I could have put in another piece of fabric if I wanted to. I have a hole plate. It just has a hole. It's not the wide on my machine, and it's amazing. I typically don't have that problem where it pulls the fabric down in there. Okay. this off. And see if I can get through all 4 of them. Okay, now I'm going to go iron them. Always iron towards the corner, especially because it's red and with white. Okay. So I pressed them. Now I'm going to put this one on. I think if you draw a line and you pin really well, yours should turn out just fine. Sometimes they look like they have a little curve along the bottom. Now I'm going to go back to the sewing machine and sew it. Wish that Bernina was a little faster. Iron them. Probably need to change this fabric for the next video. I'm gonna grab a board, a little board.
Those are beautiful clappers you had made.
Uh-huh. They're my husband made them.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So now I am on step 10. and in.
That's so cute.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew across the top, the middle, and then the bottom. So I'm going to go over to the machine. Now, hold on, let's switch it. And I'm probably not going to pin. There's nothing to match up, so I probably will not. Oops, this is in the way. Must have poked myself somewhere. Yeah, take that back. There is something to line up. Okay, I'm going to come back over here because there is something to line up. So this center at about a 1/4 of an inch way down. And then right here, we're going to want to match. So this is why I like my longer pins. If you don't know me, I use 2 different kinds of pins. I use the clover, fine, really long, hold on, pin. Can you see it? No, how about on the red? See how long it is? And I like to do that with things like this because it's thick and I need to go all the way through. And then
No, she didn't get her kit yet.
I sent her a big box. So what I like to do is I pin this in and I like to keep it perpendicular because I don't want, the minute you twist your pin, you just slid it. You slid the back down further and you don't want that to happen. So I use this longer pin in the center and then I pin on either side. And I'll do it on the other side too. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I can't believe I didn't trim it down again. It's because I use flying geese, I use the triangle paper, so I typically don't need to do that step. I meant pen. Right. Okay. Back to the sewing machine. Oh, I'm going to go to the iron. I'm going to press these all open. It's hot. And then I'm missing one. Okie dokie. Now we're on the fabric. And see, that looks perfect.
Beautiful.
You can't tell I messed it up. Okay.
Now that your husband is retired, Sandy, would he entertain the thought of making clappers?
He is making clappers.
Oh, they're on your site?
No. Oh, yeah, they should be on my site. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Just hold your horses, ladies. Hold your horses. I'm trying not to give anything away.
Okay. I purchased the real big one you sold.
Yeah.
way back when, almost 12. It's like 11 something by 11 something. I think I love it.
Isn't it great? I know.
Yes.
The girls sold mine. See, I said, you need to make more of these. Everybody wants one.
I was gonna ask if the clappers that you do are only like those Taylor's clappers, like the longer skinny ones, or if you do like the big block ones.
He's going to do the block ones too.
Good,
he
'cause
just-
those are the ones I.
Yeah, me too. He just bought a second machine and it's supposed to be here this week.
When you say machine, are you talking like the laser engravers? To
It's
put
the
your names on, or like
CNC machine. Yeah, he can put names on them too. But like mine has my logo on it, right? The rose.
Right.
So, he can do lots of stuff.
That means you could. Yeah. That means you could custom engrave.
Names.
Custom engrave them all,
Like-
like rulers.
Yes. He can
and
make
template.
he can make templates, plastic templates too. Just wait, just wait, just wait.
You're gonna be dabbling into bag patterns and things.
Into bag patterns?
Yeah, because bag patterns, there's a lot of, well, so that's kind of how I got myself back into sewing,
Uh-huh.
was bag patterns. And there's a lot of people that do, like, they'll write bag patterns, and then other people will, instead of like the fancy weird templates for those more like high-end bag patterns
Uh-huh.
that look more like that use like the specialty vinyls and things like that,
Yeah.
as opposed to just the cotton one, like the bags that are made with cotton materials. And they'll make templates for those so that people can just cut around them with a rotary cutter, as opposed to having to,
Yep.
trace around it with paper and then cut it out with scissors.
This is exactly what he's doing.
Right, I was asking if you were going to start writing bag patterns.
Yes, that's the answer. We have a lot going on. That's have so much going on of our own. We're going to do a couple of quilt shows. We may do the one in California, the Road to California. I don't, not this year, but next year. We're going to definitely do Arizona. Where's Michelle Stickney? Is she in here? I don't know if she's on. I didn't see if she came on or not. But we're going to do probably one in Idaho, one in... we're not going to go to Salt Lake City because it's pretty crowded with quilt shops already. But I think we're going to go to Boise. Yeah. I was told not to go to Salt Lake City. We'll go to, there's two in the Phoenix area. There's at two different times, I think January and August. I don't know. What were they thinking? And then there's the Road to California, and then there's the Pacific one, and then I'll do Sew Expo. I probably won't do the one in, I'm not doing the one in November this year because I have the Advent box going out. I just don't have, I can't. I have two boxes going out at the same time, the Advent and the monthly box.
Sandy, question, do you, tape these, retreats?
Yep, and they're out on YouTube, and what I'll do is, some of them are public. If I didn't show the pattern, that's why it takes a little longer to get it edited because I'll go back and cut out the pattern. And then post it public. If not, I post it private, and then I put the link in the group, and I send out an email with the link in it. Every retreat, I do that. If you need one, just post in the group, and somebody will get it out to you. Okie dokie. I'm gonna go to the iron. Pretty flat, but I'm still gonna press it open. That's a lot of seams here.
Do you do your own long arming or?
I do. I have 2 Gamble Statler stitchers. 2 of them.
Sandy, living my dreams.
I am. And I don't do customer quilts, though. I don't have any time. I'm slow and people get mad at me, and I just don't want to upset people. So I decided not to do it anymore.
So do you keep your long arm machine busy enough, though, to justify having 2, though, with not doing
Well,
customer stuff?
they're paid for, so yep, they're justified.
Oh, well,
I bought them both used. I did not buy them new.
I have a friend who has a long arm, and she gets that question about, what, aren't you going to have, do customer orders? And she says, well, my husband has a boat. Does he take people out on
That's
rides and
right.
charge them?
That's correct.
No.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm like, they think we're supposed to make money, right?
Right, but they don't.
That's a foreign concept to me.
because you already have a business and
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
having food
I
makes
used
sense.
to. I just stopped this year, so I used to. So, yes, I did, but I don't anymore. I'm just, I really love doing these boxes a lot. It's like making a gift for your friends every other month.
But they pay you.
Yeah, they pay you.
Yes.
But it's so much fun that,
Right. Well, and that's how I feel about subscription boxes. It's like a present, even though I pay for
Yeah.
it, it's still like a present because it's a surprise.
yeah, it's like amazing, isn't it? I love it. I think I need to cut my C's.
I like to do what you do.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
learning. I am learning that people like to do what I do. So, and I'm one that like, well, maybe I should give them choices. That's why they got, extras of stuff. So I don't know. 2.5. This ruler is getting worn out. Did anybody figure out what I'm doing here? I am cutting my 2.5. So I'm going to cut a 5. And then I'm going to cut a 2.5. Now this is the same as my bow, by the way, just so you know. Okay, so here we go. Now I will sew these together, these together, and these together. Going back to the sewing machine. I'm not going to pin. They're just straight seams, nothing hard.
That's very interesting to have a bow at the top of the tree instead of a star.
It's a sandy bow.
Yeah. I made this Christmas quilt for my brother. He's a Christmas nut like me. And it was a pattern with stars at the top of the trees. Same kind of tree. But they would keep the stars. Well, that looks, should have been applique. They were so little tiny half square triangles.
Mm-hmm.
At least they're not pieced angels.
Oh, are those hard?
Yeah.
Angel, that would probably be a lot of different tiny pieces.
Yes, it would.
You sure you don't want to have a snuggle with Charlie?
I do. Who's Charlie?
I want a snack.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I knew that. From her nap, and she's invaded my space, and I need her to leave, and so I keep trying to ask her to go do other things, and she keeps telling me no.
That's a cat for you.
Right. Daughter that
Ah.
usually is BFF. So, but I'm trying to ploy her away to go hang out with her big sister that she loves instead of mom.
It's more fun to bug you.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Is that Victor?
I didn't even know you were on.
How do you get in trouble?
Yeah.
You've never gotten in trouble with me.
Oh, no, I don't get in trouble with you. Sandy, you tell me right to the point.
Well, Victor, you can't change what you don't know.
Oh, no, it's true. No, I'm just being quiet.
Oh, well, tell us what you're working on. You're always working on a million things.
No, I only did 5 little dress towels that you hang on your oven door.
Uh-huh. Oh, those are so cute, aren't they?
I did 5 of those today, like this morning.
Mm-hmm. Are they gifts?
Yes.
Yeah.
The 6th one I'll be doing it tomorrow. Cause I had to do one tomorrow, and everybody's gonna get gifts on my godmother. I always give my godmother and my cousins Christmas gifts that I make. So I said, well, guess what? They're going to get key fobs. They're gonna get a pouch. They're gonna get the towel, and they're gonna put Avon stuff in the pouch to the boys and the girls, crayons and Pokemon cards in the little kids. After Christmas.
Cute.
Done.
They're gonna love it.
That's a sweet
You
gift.
know, Victor, when he makes something, doesn't make one, he makes logos for everything. And to be honest, Sandy,
Yeah.
I have not done a quilt in 6 months.
What's wrong? Are you okay?
Nah.
No?
I want to make this quilt. I want to make that quilt. I'll make blocks.
Yeah.
I made blocks to go with. I started my own, just sew and build a block.
Mhm.
Well, it's half done. I filed it. I start something. I filed it.
Mhm. Okay. I'm gonna sew this
The
together.
New Year's coming. Okay. There's my spiel.
Okay. Sounds like a good one. Any-
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Anyone else making Christmas gifts? What are you making?
I have a wristlet to make, a purse, a bunch of things like that. Well, then I have adult wearing
Mhm.
for Christmas. What I heard.
I'm making all my granddaughters these duffel bags.
Oh.
It only takes me 2 days.
Does it take 2 days to do it?
Yeah. At least me.
How many granddaughers?
5.
How much and 3 great grandsons.
Oh, wow.
So what do we have any the frosting was peanut. Oh,
So there's the star block. Already.
I like that.
And
Pretty.
I think we
Nice.
will do the let's do the bow tie next. So here's my bow tie. I laid it all out and I'm going to go over to page I'm on the top of page 8, bottom of page 7. So you're going to take your U's and you're going to, this is where I'm going to use the glue. They're so teeny, it's hard to keep them all centered, so I use my Seam-Align glue. Let me get a pen. I'm still using that one that the dog chewed up, you guys.
That's okay. I starched all my fabric today and caught his dog out there wrapped in the white fabric.
Why is it always the white fabric?
I don't know, but she had a field day. So I had to wash it, then go back and starch it again.
Mm-hmm.
Bella likes batting.
My
Ugh.
cat Frankie. Any black fabric. Doesn't matter. It's black clothes, black bag, black fabric.
Wow.
It's his. He claims it. He's on it. I even have a black duffel bag in my basket on my rollator, my walker. And he goes sleeps in the basket on top of the bag in my walker.
How's your weather up there, Victor?
It's starting to get cold.
Oh, God.
It's in the 50s.
My son just moved to Phoenix and everybody keeps telling him, oh, it gets cool in October. He said, I don't know what cool is to them, but the coolest it's gotten is 105.
Well, I have a friend in Arizona, and she said it's afternoon, so that was noon her time. It was 87,
Oh, wow.
so that's cool for them.
They said there was a cold front coming.
Yeah.
So,
Sandy, does the seam lime glue wash out?
yes, the Seam-Align glue.
I'm not familiar with that. Yes.
Oh, I sell it all the time. I'll try to show it Tuesday night on the live. But I use it a lot, especially if I have little teeny stitch and flip corners. I glue them down. But you want to not iron it. It says to iron it to dry it, but don't, because you'll take off your lines that you just drew. So I'm going to go over and I'm going to sew each side to the middle of the bow. And I'm gonna sew these. So let me go to the sewing machine.
Our AC went out
Oh no, where do you live?
in Sacramento, California. And it
Not
was
good.
102 in October. It's very seldom. It's 100 degrees every day. I think through the first 9 days of October.
Lovely.
Finally cooled off. Maybe we'll get our AC next week. We aren't sure yet.
Oh. Well, you know what else I use the seam align glue for is teaching children to sew, because they have a hard time with pins, and so they glue all their seams and then they sew them. They love it.
So it's seam align, not seam align.
It's acorn seam ALIGN glue.
L-I-G-N, okay.
It's amazing. Absolute game changer.
Yeah. Oh, what happened to my other one? Oh, no, it's there. Never mind.
We've had a hard time lately. My brother-in-law passed away
Oh.
the end of July, and she's on her last legs.
Oh boy. I'm
My
sorry.
my daughter turned 50 this year, and she had,
Oh, hold on. I'm
she
gonna go back
she
over
thought
here.
it was a toothache, so she went and the dentist couldn't find anything. So they did an ultrasound on her neck.
Mhm.
Well, her thyroid she has a tumor, and so she had half her thyroid removed a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
And now she has to go back in November and have the other half removed.
Mhm.
And, lymph nodes, and she's even got a muscle in her chest.
I'm just trimming off the 1/4 inch. Yeah.
It's about an hour. What time is it? West Coast time?
It's at 5 o'clock Pacific.
Okay.
Okay.
That's because all us on the East Coast can't stay awake for her lives otherwise.
I would have it at.
Is it different on Tuesday and Thursday?
It's at 5. It's same time both days.
But I mean different.
Yeah, they're different stuff.
Different stuff. Okay.
Sometimes if I have a sale, that's where I'll have my sale at, is on the lives. So I do like $40 backings, 5 yards, stuff like that, which I tend to have an abundance of lately.
Sandy also has an app too. You can watch it on the app, and then you can see all the merchandise on the app as well.
Oh, on the app? Okay.
Yeah.
And either Apple or Google, either one, you can just go into your app store and download it.
And it's Bella. Okay, thank you.
You need to be on that if you want to catch a sale and get something quick.
On the app. Okay.
Just-
You can't just hit a button.
So you do it on the computer and then you do it on the app at the same time, or you
I
just
do it
pick
in,
one?
yep, I do it on Facebook, I do it on the computer, I do it on the app. You can pick one, whatever you want to do. But if there's a sale, you will not win anything unless you have the app. And the app is free. It's Bella Rose Quilts. Just search for it and download it, and it'll be right on your iPad or iPhone. Or there's a Google Play one too, so you have a choice. So what I'm doing now is I am marking the 1/4 inch seam here, because we want these to line up as close as possible. Oops, hold on. We want these seams to line up. That one's a little off, but that's okay. You know how I am about that stuff. And so I marked the 1/4 inch seam, and so what I'll do is I will pin with my big pins. Hold on. The girls used all my big pins to pin stickers on the backings. Those we label them so we know how big they are. And for some reason they like my long pins. So I'm going to stick it in. You could have pressed the seam open, and then I'm going to stick it in this side to that 1/4 inch mark. And I'm going to just pinch it like I normally do. And I'm going to pin on each side. And I'm going to pull that long pin out. Does anybody else do it like this? I don't know. It's just a weird thing that I do, I guess. I don't know.
I don't worry about it.
Oh, so you're okay with my it's fine, good enough then, huh?
Exactly.
That's good enough. Okie dokie. And so, well, I would be taking it out 5,000 times if I don't do this. I knew that on the little candy block that it would look just fine. That's why I wasn't too worried about that. Okay, I'm going to sew this one. So far, I'm doing good on switching the cameras. I haven't forgotten yet. And recorded a whole recording on it.
On your pattern, Sandy, it says Aria and Ava Quilts. Are those your granddaughters?
They are.
Oh.
They are. They are the joy of my life, boy. Okay, so there's my bow, my cute little bow. And then I'm going to attach my Ys to each side of my bow. So this little bow here goes as part of your sashing. So I'm going to go to the sewing machine and iron this. Okay. And I pressed my seams open, and I pressed these towards the sashing. So let me just quickly show you what I mean by sashing. So we have the tree block, and that's the sashing piece for the tree, and then you just have a plain sashing above your stars. Just like here. This is actually the sashing. And then plain. I love this fabric, this background fabric. I love it. It's like, couldn't be any more perfect. Okie dokie. Next, we are going to make our tree.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. The tree is the
Yeah.
fun part.
Well, no, that's what I mean. I want to see it, though.
Okay, so I put all of my fabrics out so I could see what they look like together. And let me tell you what page I'm on. You're on page 6, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to do a stitch and flip. And so what I do is, this is my stitch and flip. And what you do is you want to lay it on here just like you do when you make binding, and you're going to draw a line from here to here. So here to here is 2.5 inches. So what I do is this side is, the line is drawn different than this side. So let me just show you. So I come down and I will mark 2.5 inches. And just line it up. You can also line up your line on your ruler, and it'll come straight down, the vertical line, the 45-degree line. And that one goes on this side. So when you sew it and you flip it back, it's going to be like this, okay? So this one goes here. And this one here is going to be just the opposite. It's going to go from here to here. So again, I am going to mark my 2.5. Oops. And I will line this up and mark my 2.5. And I'm going to put it there. I'm going to sew it, and then I'm going to flip it, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to sew the other one. Any questions about this? It can be a little confusing. And if you sew it wrong, just rip it off and sew it again. Okay, I'm going to go to the sewing machine. Again, I'm going to start sewing from the inside, not down here. So it lays flat. That's the point of your tree, but I want to trim this off. This one's going to go here. I'm going to go iron this. It'll bug me. It's not laying flat. Sounds like it needs water. So I'm going to put this one here.
Well, it doesn't,
Okay, that's okay. Just... Okay, and then I'm going to sew from here to here. Okay, and then I'm going to press it. I'm pressing everything towards the white strip. And that's the top one. See it? There's the top. Then I'm going to take the next one. So what I like to do is I like to go down and I like to do all my right sides. So you can either draw that little line or you can line up your 45-degree. This one goes here. I have done these wrong before. So, and this one goes here.
In your instruction book, it says just do the left side first, so it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
This is what I do. I write instructions for people that read them, but I follow pictures, and so that's why there's so many pictures in my pattern and why they're so long. Oh boy. Is anybody sewing with me? Christina, she's sewing.
Still working
Yes.
on my pinwheel.
Awesome. Who's still working on what?
I was having machine issues.
Uh-oh. What are you sewing on?
I'm on the pinwheel now.
Ah.
I was having bobbin issues, needle issues.
Well, if anybody knows how to fix it, it's you.
I was about ready to throw it out the window a little while ago.
So I'm going to stack these up and go and sew them.
Sandy, when you're doing the full quilt and the blocks, do you do one block at a time?
I do all the pinwheels, and then I finish all the pinwheels. And then on the trees, I do one block at a time because they're scrappy. And I want to lay them out and see how they look together. But that's how I do it. I cut everything. When I do a pattern, I make one block each. I never cut out the whole quilt. After I make one block each and I know everything is fine with it, no matter whose pattern it is, I do that. And then I will cut everything out and then sew it all. I stack it up on boards, design boards.
The pattern I had, they I made little squares,
Mm-hmm.
and I had cut out quite a few, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I set them on paper plates and stacked the paper plates up.
Ah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, well, it made, too bad I don't follow it as well as I should, but I think the pattern called for that.
To stack them on plates?
Yep.
Huh.
Yep. So that you would, that way you'd know what you were doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I really didn't, but I pretended.
Mm-hmm. So when I go to market, what do you guys want me to look for?
Mm.
Notions, new patterns.
I think whatever catches your fancy, you pretty much know what.
I'm actually looking for new fabric companies. That's what I'm looking for. New tools. I told all of the companies I currently work with I wasn't meeting with them. Said I'm not meeting with any of you guys. Because most people will meet with their, reps when they go to market. I'm like, I see you all the time. I want to. Let me think. Do you ever get one of those brain things where you're like, what the heck? Every day.
Everything I do.
Here we go.
Have to think.
How do I turn the ruler?
Yes.
I just like to make sure that it's right. Last time I did one wrong because I didn't follow my own procedure of doing things.
I have to say it's harder now at 74 than it was even at 54.
Yeah.
I'd like to go back and maybe only for my thinking process and remember how things go.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind being younger for that, but otherwise, I don't want to be younger. There's nothing that I can think of that was really thrilling.
I wouldn't mind being younger. Boy, I would have never had a boyfriend. I would have went. I didn't go to college till I was 25. But I would have really gotten into school. It was hard to do it when you're married and you have a baby and you're working full time and your husband's on a submarine and
Your bestie lives too far away.
yeah, it was just really hard. But that's what you got to do, right?
leave. Okay, it's time to read. In college, and my first time in my whole life studying in English. And now, oh well, the business that I was doing, bookkeeping, that closed the door. So I'm gonna do quilting.
It's more fun, don't you think?
My husband and I have been retired for a while, and it's really an adjustment at first.
Well, I think we can ease into it because of COVID, right? So he's been working from home all this time.
Yes, COVID has changed lives. My mother was born in 1918 when we had the Spanish
Mm-hmm.
pandemic. And her mother always had their children in the hospital. But my dad's mother, that was the only baby that was born in the hospital, was the one during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
She's the same age as my mother. It was altogether different, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad she's not here to live through this one.
Yeah, at least we lived through it, right? I have a lot of friends
Yeah.
that have long COVID, which is not good.
No, we just had company last week from, I think they live in Idaho now. He doesn't have long COVID, but he did have COVID, and they had to put him, in a coma, or whatever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they put him out for a few days to try to get his lungs to settle down.
Mm-hmm.
But he's good now. He says he doesn't have any problems. His his father was Portuguese.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, well, that's why I'm a tough guy.
on the front. So
Right.
even if when you're closing it in your hoop, even if you're missing in this or two where you're gonna connect, but remember you're gonna put that top so it's gonna get that a stitch line. And nobody will know that it's not supposed to be like that.
That it's not supposed to be like that.
Well,
Right. So funny. When Jackie said, or when Sandy said, see, it looks perfect. My thought was, well, that's only because we know what it's, you know, the only people that know it's not perfect are the people that know what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, don't forget to trim down your half square triangles.
but I'm starting to be a lot like with Sandy, how she's doing her squares and her blocks, and a few other quilters that own stores. I'm starting to slow down a bit and match my points. There's no reason that with all the quilt tops that I've done and all the squares that I've done, that I cannot take that little extra time so my points are always there.
Yeah.
There's no reason for me for not to have that anymore.
Right.
I call it enjoying the process.
But I still quilt. I still sew fast. Not that maybe I slow down a bit, but I'm being more precise now. I use a bit more pins. Before, never used pins. Now I do.
Right.
And clips. I get it. I understand. I'm not afraid that if there's a little boo-boo, if I need to go in with my seam ripper, undo that and resew it.
That's where the acorn, because I hated using pins because I always stabbed myself. So I would use clips or I wouldn't use pins at all. That's where the acorn glue saved my points. That's the acorn glue. I use that instead of pins.
It's a game changer.
And now I have like the most beautiful points.
Yeah.
With my thing.
But we just have to find what's comfortable for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when Sandy was saying about the pins or when she does her triangles or her blocks, or she gives that little extra fabric, or she does one block that needs to be done in the pattern then cut.
Mm-hmm.
I do the same because maybe, let's say in Sandy's pattern, she's showing do the half triangle squares this way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, something, maybe I like to do them my way, which needs a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And if I gotta do lots, I do paper piecing, paper foundation paper.
Triangles
Or
on a roll.
I make the blocks bigger, so I trim.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I like it. That's how I get my precise precision.
Sometimes it's the very best that somebody can do. After teaching in the quilt shop for so many years, there's people that come in that, they have Parkinson's or they have cataracts or they can't get their vision fixed. And you know what? They're happy with what it looks like. And that's the very best that they can do. And they want to sew and they want to be with friends and they like the camaraderie. And so I show what I do and then people can do the best that they can do. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I like to do.
Yeah.
So, I guess we played no games today. Sorry, you guys. I did have some games lined up, but I forgot to print them off.
I turned on the printer.
I know. I just thought of it just now. I get into the sewing part of this, right? And Annie's typically running the bingo. That's why we didn't do bingo, too. Not because I thought you were sick of it so much, but I had nobody to be calling the names. Any questions? All you have to do next is your sashing. There's not much more to do. You just sew these pieces. You're going to do your tree. You'll put a piece between them. The next piece, you put a piece between them. And that's it. Now, one of the things I've thought about doing was putting a border on it. I have a border I would love to put on it, but I don't know if I will or not. I really like this print up here. I don't know. Can you guys see it? This print here, and I have it with the cream background with lots of red and different colors in it, but I don't know.
Can you show us what you would use as a border? Because I always like adding.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple things. As my backing is on the quilt machine, but I I wanted to keep it soft on the borders. I wanted to keep it white. Let me see. Give me my scissors. Let me see if it's out here first. Yep. Yeah, I do too. The reason I don't do borders is one, because I'm trying to keep down the cost. And I don't want people to feel like they have to go out and buy this extra border that I used, right? So that's why I didn't do it, but I'm going to show you when I find it. Scissors.
Candy, before you leave tonight, could you please go over the tree skirt, how you cut the circle and do the binding?
Yes, hold on. There are videos, and they are posted. They're in the Quilting with Sandy group. Okay, I know you can't see much of this, but there's a couple of things I would use. One, I really like this print here because it has a candy in it, a green candy. And can you see it here, the candy? You can see the little green peppermint. The other one I really like is that same print in the pink. I like that as well. But I wanted to kind of do what Victor was saying, is I wanted to keep it soft. And so this is, I was going to put a small one like this, and what it looks like is, I have tons of yardage of that because it's the backing. It's also my backing. So I thought this would be perfect because it would keep the softness, and then I would have, it looks like this, the whole piece, but it's on white.
Right, it's got cream background instead of that soft sage green.
Yeah, it has all of the colors. So anyway, any other questions, you guys? I've had you for longer than normal, 2.5 hours. I think we had more fun talking than sewing. So.
Andy, I'll let you know if my box comes tomorrow.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions?
No, see y'all
Tuesday.
see everyone Tuesday. Yes.
Tuesday
Thank
at
you, Sandy.
5.
Thank
You're
you,
very
Sandy.
welcome.
Thanks, Sandy.
You're
Y'all have a
welcome.
good week.
I'll see you guys Tuesday.